Are you wondering that whatever you do, nothing seems to work out no matter how hard you try? Me too, or at least I used to. The past 2 years I've been in my flop era. Nothing was working out for me until I figured out why. It is your energy and your vibe that are holding you back from your dream life. Actually, even just a few months ago, everything about my life was just a big fail. Until I decided to take conscious action to hire my vibe and tune into the right frequency to attract my dream life. And in this video, I will share with you exactly what I did so you can start attracting your dream life too. It all starts with your outlook on life. I'm in general a really positive person. Some might call that naive, but I just like to live that way. I prefer to have a positive outlook on life rather than the negative one. But in the past few years, as I faced a lot of failures and disappointments, my positive mindset took a big hit. And of course, it's logical. No one's able to maintain a positive mindset if their life is in a constant downfall. We need those wins once in a while to maintain a positive outlook on life. So in these past 2 years, I started to notice a new pattern in my thinking. I started to doubt myself more. I started to have these thoughts that what if this is the new normal? What if nothing will ever work out for me? Why do I keep trying this hard? I could wake up and literally have negative thoughts first thing in the morning. That started to scare the F out of me. I realized that I had lost myself and I wanted the old me back. I wanted to walk outside and be in a good mood and have positive thoughts for no reason, like I used to. Where is she? Bring her back. Well, I started to work on that. I was on a mission to bring the lucky, positive old me back. But before I could bring her back, I had to understand this thing first. And you should too, because this is the first step to get into alignment with your dream life. And I'm really sorry about the lightning. The sun is going on and off today all the time, so the lightning might be changing as it is as we speak. So please don't bother. Life is a journey or a path or whatever you want to call it. Some things will work out and some not, and it's for the better. Do you remember the high school crush of yours that you used to be so obsessed with but nothing worked out between you two? Well, now that you look back, good that it didn't, right? Now, whatever you desire, whatever you want in your life, have a successful business, get into your dream uni, or have your dream job, most of the times it won't work out on the first try, or the second, or even the third. That is the normal, not the social media normal where someone opened a business, they posted about it on TikTok, and it exploded. Those stories F up our brains because social media makes it look so normal and so easy, whereas it's not. It distorts our perception of reality. In reality, it's like 1% of people, and a lot of things are also left out and not mentioned in their stories because they're ashamed of it. I intend to show the reality here, the reality behind building your dream life and living the different life. Be authentic, because we have already enough of those disordered social media fantasies of how life should be. And this is not to discourage you, but to show you that struggle is normal. Nothing happens overnight. You don't get 100,000 subscribers or followers on social media in 90 days. You don't make 1 million euros in 6 months if you now make the regular salary. And you also don't get to be a manager straight out of university, unfortunately. I am not saying this to discourage you, but to give you perspective. There is this one thing that I once heard one entrepreneur saying, and whenever I'm low in my thoughts and I'm on the edge of quitting, I come back to these thoughts and they really give me hope to continue with whatever I'm busy at that moment. And this doesn't apply only to entrepreneurship, this applies to everything. He's a successful entrepreneur, but he didn't always used to be. In fact, he had to try 7 different businesses before he found the successful one. So the point here is that usually things don't work out on the first time. There's one big problem that our generation especially has, and I'm again going to refer the example to business, but once again, this applies to everything in life. Business in general usually takes years before you see success. 10 years, 20 years, it's normal to build businesses for many years. But now we have with social media this understanding that everything is quick. Quick results, short-term gratification, everything has to be done in 90 days, and if it doesn't work out in 90 days, then it's not meant for you. Successful people can spend decades figuring out, trying, until they find their thing and hit the golden vein. These people just never quit. Everyone tells you their success stories, but no one actually tells you their stories of failure, how many times they had to fail before they succeeded. So here's the thing. To get into alignment with your dream life, you have to first understand that it can take time and you have to be fine with it. Now, yes, I do agree that there is this thing that things that are meant for you do happen easier, but it is still not like you just snap your fingers and there it is, your dream life happened. You still have to work for it, but it just feels easier because you like it, so the struggle doesn't feel so exhausting. Which brings me to my second tip, to tune into the right frequency to attract your dream life. When I was working on my second business, there was something off. I felt with every inch of my cell that something is off, but I couldn't just surrender to my feelings. My head was like, this is such an easy way for me to make money. I can escape the 9 to 5, travel the world, have my kind of life and earn money, which I really wanted back then because I was so broke then. It seemed to work out for everyone but me. And it's not that my service was bad. It was to provide Google Ads for construction companies in Finland to ease their customer acquisition process, because my dad is in construction, so I see their pains. I know their exact pains in the customer acquisition. I had a clear service. What, for who, where, and why. But it didn't work out. I landed like one client, but I'm telling you, that's not enough for the dreams I had. So why wasn't it working out? Because I actually really believed into that service. I still do. But I had something internally blocking me. Everything inside of me was screaming, don't do this. This is not what you should do. At least not now. So here's the thing. If you want to live your dream life, you have to be energetically aligned with it. It has to feel right inside. You cannot sit behind your laptop or behind whatever and internally feel that I don't want to do this, or in general just feel off. And I mean like all the time. I don't mean that once things get hard, it becomes unenjoyable, because sometimes we have to do those hard things to get to where we want to go. I'm talking about that when you all the time from the get-go already feel wrong about it, but you're still forcing it. This is self-sabotage, and you're literally blocking yourself from reaching your highest potential and living your dream life because you aren't energetically aligned with your dream. So it has to feel right inside, because then you're doing the right things to get towards your dream life and get energetically aligned. You have to be energetically aligned with your dream life to get your dream life. And you can say that this is all woo-woo, wah-wah, but it's not. If you're doing things you don't like and you're failing at them, like I did, you're lowering your frequency. It's lowering your vibes and it's making you more miserable and more negative, like it was doing to me as well. This way, I literally lost my spark. I started to have a lot of negative thoughts and self-doubt. I started to even experience jealousy, which I never had ever before. I'm not the jealous type of person. If I saw ever, for example, in high school, a girl doing something different from what others were doing, I was always the person who was like, yay, and clapping for this person, because I love to see people do things they want to do, because I genuinely believe that there's enough of space for everyone to shine and be the best versions of themselves and succeed. But now I was even being jealous of my own boyfriend's success. That is messed up. The spiral of disappointments and failures just got me into this really, really low mindset, and I started to have a lot of negativity and these thoughts that what if this is the new normal? What if I'm not meant for success? What if nothing will ever work out? And your thoughts are really powerful. Therefore, you need to have the right thoughts to attract your dream reality. Which brings me to my third tip to higher your vibes and energetically align with your dream life. When I started YouTube, it felt so right inside. I tend to usually overthink everything before starting something, but this just happened. I don't think I've ever done anything so impulsively. I had this big flow of energy. I knew exactly what I needed to do, and I acted on that. And I've been doing it ever since. In the beginning, when I wasn't yet so consumed by my failures, I had some success on YouTube, but then it started to stagnate. These other events, failures, and disappointments in my life started to also affect my YouTube journey. I was involving myself into all that low vibe stuff, comparing myself with other channels, having self-doubt and thinking that I will never succeed, why I'm doing this, how do I think that some girl from Finland whose native language isn't even English will ever be able to grow on YouTube. I'm wasting my time, I should stop. Complaining, whining, engaging in all of that low vibe stuff. But about a month ago, I started to read this one book, you probably know it. It's called You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and something la la la. I will link it up here. This book literally changed my life. At first I was quite skeptical about it because I thought it's too simple, but sometimes simple is exactly what you need. There was one chapter about affirmations. Before, I used to have a little bit wrong kind of attitude when it comes to affirmations. Everyone advises you to do affirmations, and sometimes I'm just a little bit too practical, and I thought that if everyone is advising you to do it, then it's probably a waste of time. But after I read the chapter, it started to make a lot of sense. Basically, the reason why affirmations work so well is because you're brainwashing yourself. I wanted the old me back so badly that I decided to give it a go. So about a month ago, I did my own affirmations. I didn't take anything from Pinterest. I created my own affirmations, such as I'm a YouTuber, I have 10,000 subscribers, I'm monetized on YouTube, clients flow easily to me, I'm positive, I'm happy, I'm the me, normal me again. And I was writing them down every morning. I was repeating them during the day to myself whenever I was doubting myself. I did this for about 1 week, and I'm telling you, I couldn't believe it myself. But magic started to happen. I gained 1,000 subscribers in 2 weeks here on YouTube. I got monetized on YouTube, and one entrepreneur reached out to me asking if I could do her marketing. Whereas before, I used to always write everyone and run after clients. So here's the thing. You need to have the right thoughts to attract your dream life. You simply cannot dwell in negative self-talk, self-criticism, self-doubt, and attract your dream life. You have to reprogram those thoughts into better ones, and this is where affirmations really do help. They help you to brainwash yourself into believing into yourself. And this comes from a person who didn't believe into affirmations before. And that's why I've dedicated some time to create for you a guide on how to create your own affirmations for your life, specifically for your life. Of course, you can take affirmations from Pinterest, but they are not tailored for your life. They are very generic. The best affirmations are those that are created and tailored to your life, because everyone has different lives, different circumstances, and different starting points. Maybe you need affirmations to higher confidence in a dance class, or perhaps you need affirmations to reprogram your mind to believe into yourself that you can get into your dream, that you are worthy of your dream or your goal. Or maybe you need affirmations to overcome a childhood trauma because your dad didn't love you enough. So these things you cannot find on Pinterest. That's why I spent some time creating you a guide on how to create affirmations specifically and tailored to your life. And you can find this guide from the description below. Now, affirmations aside, and let's continue. After my graduation, I had to move back to live with my parents, and my parents watch news. I normally never watch news. I find my own ways to keep myself informed. But naturally, during this time that I lived at my parents', I watched news kinda indirectly, if that makes any sense. And the past 5 years have been quite crazy news-wise. So during that time, I started to notice that my thinking patterns started to change. I started to think from a place of fear. My thoughts became more negative. I was mad. I started to complain about everything, discuss how things should be done as if I was some world politics specialist. All that was just occupying my brain with unnecessary stuff and stealing my brain's capacity to build my dream life, and not to mention the energy, the state of energy and vibe all that was putting me in. So the fourth tip I have for you to get energetically aligned with your dream life is to protect your energy. Cut all the external sources of negativity. Once I went back to my normal, which is limiting the consumption of news, I started to feel like the normal me again. With this being said, I'm not saying to be ignorant of the world events and not care, but news usually, first of all, they only show you what they want to show, and second, they feed you with negativity. News show you like one thing nice, and then they continue feeding you with all that terror, drama, fear, and all that low frequency, low vibe stuff you want to steer clear from to protect your energy and your life. With this being said, you also want to steer clear from anything else low frequency and low vibe stuff. Low vibe people, low vibe places, like fast food restaurants or clubs, or anything that doesn't vibrate on your desired level. Again, I'm not saying to never go eat at McDonald's or never go partying in clubs, but I'm asking you to be more aware of what these places might do to your energy, and why, for example, next day you might feel low in your energy and thoughts. With this awareness, you can then be more mindful and protect your energy. But be careful not to protect your energy too hard, because then you might be hurting the manifestation of your desired future, like I did. Another thing that I used to do during my flop era, which really lowered my frequency and my vibes and was blocking me from getting my dream life was focusing on myself. I was working really hard on my dreams and goals. I prioritized it so hard because I really wanted for things to work out that I had completely isolated myself to the point where I didn't have time for anything else. I didn't see my friends so often. I didn't get out of the house to do something else, to do like a hobby or something. I mean, for example, the previous summer, I saw my bestie like twice, and the both times I was thinking, when can I finally go home to work on my so important goals? All this was just worsening my mental state, my vibe, my energy, because I wasn't getting out of my shitty bubble. So here's my fifth tip to get energetically aligned with your dream life to attract your dream life. Get out of your everyday shitty life. Go see your friends, make time for them, get yourself a hobby, do something else, get yourself a life. It gives you something new to think about, something else to think about. It gives you new ideas, you get new perspectives. Maybe it will change your life. At least it will for sure help you to higher your vibe and your energy, because you're getting out of your everyday bubble where things are negative. In the beginning of this year, I made myself a promise that no matter what I'm working on, I will see more of my friends. Because having fun and not being all the time productive and having a life outside of your professional fulfillment is also an important part of life, which I think a lot of people in our generation overlook, and thus the depression rates. And by the way, I must say that my thoughts became much more brighter once I dedicated more time for my social life, but also just having a life outside my professional fulfillment, which brings me to my next tip. As I mentioned, that during this flop era, I didn't really get out of the house really much. I didn't have a social life, I didn't have really hobbies, I even did my exercise at home. But I had also one other really bad habit, which was straight after I woke up, I will get myself a cup of coffee, then I would open my laptop and sit behind my laptop. And I could sit there for 6 hours straight, if not longer. This started already during Corona when everything was in lockdown. I was in my last year of university then, so this habit started to develop already. Then when I was writing my thesis and having online classes behind laptop first thing in the morning. But the thing is that this habit is actually really, really unhealthy and bad for your brain. Your brain needs fresh air, real light, not blue light from your screens, and movement first thing in the morning to wake up, be fresh, and optimal. When your brain is optimal, your thoughts are optimal. When your thoughts are optimal, your vibe is optimal. When your vibe is optimal, you have the right energy to tune into the right frequency to attract your dream life. So the sixth tip I have for you to get energetically aligned to attract your dream life is to get outside. The earlier the merrier. Especially if you work from home or you study at home or you are a stay-at-home mom, you need to get outside first thing in the morning, whether it's a walk around the block, walk to the bus stop, or 10-kilometer run. It's beneficial for brain health and therefore your mindset. Which brings me to my next tip to higher your vibes and attract your dream life. I've always been really active my whole life. I used to run a lot, especially in the mornings, but then there was a time when I got a little bit too obsessed with health and sports, which resulted into oversporting and few health complications, due to which I had to stop sporting, especially aerobic, for few years to recover. But if I compare myself, my thoughts, my mood, my vibe, my energy to the times when I used to do a lot of aerobic exercise, I was vibing really high. Whereas if I compare myself to the times when I was moving less and doing less aerobic exercise, I was vibing much lower. So if you want a quick fix and you want to fly high energy and vibes wise, get yourself moving, go for a run. Just don't get too obsessed. Whenever I need to get myself out of a funk, I go for a run or do something else aerobic. Even 10 minutes does wonders for your thoughts, mood, energy, and vibes. I was actually even witnessing this in real time one evening when my thoughts were really negative. Then I just pulled up my yoga mat and did some jumping, and in 10 minutes, I watched my thoughts go from negative to positive ones. There's one more cheat code to start attracting your dream life, and it's really often overlooked. And I'm talking about gratitude. But it's easy to be grateful when things are going your way, when everything is working out for you. But try to be grateful when you're in your rock bottom. That's powerful. And that's where you gotta start to attract the life you want. Gratefulness makes you happier. And when you're happy, you're more positive. And when you're more positive, you're more open to receive the nice things from universe. I know, when I was in my personal rock bottom, I thought, what is there to be grateful for? I don't have anything to appreciate. My life sucks and nothing's working out for me. The F do I write into my journal of gratitude that thank you universe for giving me this shitty experience. And yeah, kind of that's exactly what you need to write there. Because the shitty experience is a lesson that's preparing you for something in your future. Believe me, later you will actually be grateful about this experience once you realize what it taught you. I was bullied in school, and yes, then it was really cruel, but now I see it was a valuable lesson. I wasted 4 years of my life in a relationship with a narcissist, but now I see it was a valuable lesson. I failed the past 2 years, but now I slowly start to see the lesson. When you are in this cycle of failures and disappointments, you easily get sucked into this negativity and self-pity. It's hard to notice anything good in your life, and not only that it's hard to notice something good in your life, you also tend to receive everything from the negative point of view, no matter what happens. That's at least how it was for me. Nothing starts to really matter, even the small wins, but that is exactly what you need to be grateful about. Ungratefulness brings you nowhere. You have to learn to be grateful even for the smallest things in your life. Even if you made only €1 today or you gained only one subscriber, you have to be like, thank you for this €1 and one subscriber. Although in that moment it can feel like nothing, especially if you are in this negativity and cycle of failures. Especially those feel so small. And I understand it. I was like that too. I gained one subscriber. Everything was like, But then I somehow stumbled upon 2 books that completely changed everything for me. These books are both by the same author, Ryan Holiday. First book, Ego is the Enemy, and the second book, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And I really recommend reading them because they open you so new ways of thinking. Gratitude is the most powerful way to higher your frequency and your vibes because it literally teaches you to appreciate things you have now instead of having to first achieve something and then be grateful. I mean, at least that's how it's supposed to be with practicing gratitude. The key to gratitude and therefore to your dream life is starting small. Write or draw or whatever, make it your way, 5 things you are grateful about today or 5 nice things that happened to you today. Do that every day and read them each Sunday. Now, if you want to further explore the topic on how to reprogram your mind to attract your dream reality, watch this video.